It's up. Ah, cool. Can you type something in the chat for me? Oh, okay. That sucks. I should have just bought like a little cheap laptop. Yeah, that's still like pretty cheap. All right, we're back. Where did I leave off? The gas can belongs to the what? Oh shit. Okay, the gas can belongs to the facility maintenance team. Okay, so the lighter belongs to Christopher King, and the gas can belongs to just the facility in general. Several witnesses confirmed Mr. King used both the lighter and the gasoline can earlier that evening to start a fire and left both items at the fire pit where all five people on the island had access to them. Okay, see, that's what I was worried about. Putting all my chips on Christopher King. It could be a setup. Conclusions. Sorry, what? That's what I'm. Oh well, the stuff was in the fire, so it might have just burned. But that's what I'm thinking, because like if you're gonna kill somebody and then set them on fire, you're not gonna leave your personal property there unless you're stupid. Okay. Conclusions. The fire was intentionally started with gasoline and a lighter, both found on scene. The fire originated in the area beneath the cabin where the body was found, as opposed to inside the cabin or from a lightning strike. We strongly suspect the body was doused in gasoline before the fire started. We suspect the victim was dead or unconscious before the fire started, and the fire was a feeble attempt to hide the evidence. The lighter and gas can were so badly burned in the fire that any remaining forensic evidence, like fingerprints or material fibers, were destroyed. So that's that. The investigator is Captain Donald Rimgale and Lieutenant Stephen McCaffrey. All right, so that's the arson report. What's next? Missing persons database search results. Okay, so we got a couple missing people that all seem to match the description in one way or another. Go ahead and show you real quick. Every single one of them has a tooth gap, just so you know. I'm going to try and get close enough to show the detail. Okay, so already right off the bat, it's not her. I can tell. She does not look like the description at all. Let me get the sketch out. Actually, shit, I dropped the newspaper. Oh, get over here. Okay. Okay, here is our Jane Doe. And then here are missing persons. I don't think it's her, and I think this girl in the top middle, she looks too young. That's my opinion. She looks way too young. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I see what you mean. Yeah, kind of. Yeah. I think for me, it's one of these two. Uh, it's one of these two that looks the closest. Cause she's got the hair kind of. Yes, she does. She's got curly hair. Yeah, yeah. So these three are all. I'm not buying it. Yeah. Uh, I could see that. Okay, so what is this? Okay, so the first girl is Jasmine Barstow. She was last seen uh, June 16th, 2000. Not me having to count my months. She was last seen June 16th, 2000, in Venice Beach. The second girl, the one that I don't think is her, is Maria Gonsalves. She was last seen April 20th, 2001, in Apollonia. So that's pretty much where the body was found. And then the third girl, the black and white picture, is Luisa Lanahan. She was last seen March 16th, 98. So that seems a little old. Yeah, it was 3 years. Unless, yeah, I don't know. Something about the date of that one is a little weird. Keep an eye on it. Okay, and then this girl, the fourth one, is Emma Lynn Simpson. She was last seen March 10th, 2001. Wow, in Wisconsin. Okay, so that's different. Oh, I didn't say this girl. She was last seen in New Jersey, so that's also different. Those two are very, very far away. And then the last girl is Kim Rose Sun. She was last seen April 16th, 95, so even older than Luisa. And she was also last seen in Apollonia. Okay, something weird. I don't know. I can't quite put my finger on it, but I'm assuming that's the point. All right, let's see here. We got a missing person report for Jasmine Barstow. Let me pull up the pictures again. Okay, Jasmine Barstow, right here. That's who we're reading about right now. Yeah, Jasmine Barstow. Uh, okay, so they're saying that she went missing under suspicious circumstances. Uh, Her nickname is Jazzy. She was born in January 28th, 1980. So by this point in time, she would be 20. She's 5'11" and she weighs 140. So she's kind of like in the sweet spot of both descriptions. Her eye color is brown. She wears contacts, and her hair is black. She's got a gap in her teeth and a shark tattoo on her ankle. I don't think that's really going to help though because the body was burnt. She lives in Venice, California. This is a lot of information. Okay, so the only unique characteristic it's giving us is the gap in her teeth. Uh, she was last seen wearing a bright green hoodie, white shorts, and bright green flip flops. She's got asthma and she's allergic to nuts and raisins. She was wearing a puka shell necklace and gold earrings. She was last seen at Venice Beach at a bonfire. And it says her possible destination boating with a dark haired male. Hmm. Okay, this is getting a little like extra detailed. It's talking about her lifestyle too. She plays volleyball, she sails, she windsurfs, and spends time with friends. Yeah, yeah, especially with the puka shell necklace. All right, let's see here. I don't know how much of this I should read. A lot of it seems a little superfluous. Okay. Narrative. My daughter was last seen on the night of June 16th. She was at a bonfire with some friends down at Venice Beach. It was one of Jazzy's favorite things to do. One of her friends told me they saw her talking to a dark haired man further down the beach for a while, and when she came back to the bonfire, she told them she was going out on his boat and not to wait for her. I'm having a really hard time wrapping my head around that. That's the last I know of anyone seeing her. Please do everything you can to help find my baby. Okay, so guy with a boat. That's a little sus. Who's this? Yeah, we'll have to. They don't have a boat description or anything, so that kind of sucks. That would have that would have really helped. Okay. Our next missing person report is for Maria Gonzalez. Right here. Maria Gonzalez. Oops. Got caught on a paperclip. Okay, Maria Lucinda Gonzalez, also known as Sissy. She was born in August 19th, 1982. So, 1982. So she'd be a little bit older than the last girl. So, or, I don't know. I can't do math. Yeah. She's Hispanic. She's 5'11". She weighs 138. Her hair color is black. Her eye color is brown. She's got a scar on her right hand. It doesn't describe the scar though, which is weird. Okay, so when she went missing, she was wearing a white polo shirt with the Del Fuego Rehab Center emblem on it, black skirt, and white keds. Okay, so that sounds like she might have been an employee. That's what I'm saying. Maybe she was an employee. Mm, Um, no, it does not. It says she was last seen on. This is really hard to read. September 20th, it looks like, or April. I don't know, because the print from the report, their writing is kind of overlapping with it, so that sucks. It says she's colorblind and she has asthma. She was born in El Paso, Texas, and she went to Apollonia High School. What's going on? What's your Reddit Discord handle? I don't have a Reddit. Well, actually, no, I do, but I don't remember it. I don't even know who these people. I don't know who these people are, but that's funny. You guys wanna help us solve a murder? That's what we're working on right now. Anyone ever told you you look like Jonah Hill? Only everybody in my entire life. That's funny because one time in high school I went blonde just for the hell of it because I was going through quarter life crisis, and people called me not so Slim Shady after the 21 Jump Street thing. I ignore my gum routing questions. That says gum. Oh, it might it might surprise you, but I don't go to the gym. This is all natural, baby. Yo, thank you so much for the sub, King Kuro. I appreciate you. Bro, can I donate you a treadmill? Absolutely, dude. Fucking go for it. Okay, where was I? Okay, we're at the parent and guardian section. Gloria Gonzalez is her mother. Shh. Wonder how much of this is prominent. Okay, summary of incident. On April 20th, 2001, Maria was fired from her job as Maria was fired from her job as a housekeeper at the Del Fuego Rehab Center. On April 23rd, 2001, her mother filed a missing persons report. Hadn't answered phone all weekend. She missed her sister's birthday party. Mother checked on her on April 23rd. No one answered the door, but her car was there. So that's a little. I might have discounted Maria. Jesus Christ, you guys are so weird. My money is on 69. Well, was she a housekeeper, you said? Yes. So basically, let me get the brochure out real quick. Wherever I put that thing. She worked at this place, the Del Fuego Rehab Center, which is where the body was found in one of the cabins. And there's a lot of evidence that implicates somebody that works there as being the one that killed her and set her body on fire. We don't know who she is though, so this is just guesswork right now. What's going on? I don't know. This is fucking hilarious. How is this dude not banned from chat? What's going on? Oh well, whatever you think. Use your best judgment. I'm uh I'm reading stuff, so I'm not like really keeping up. Jesus Christ. For Kobe. Oh my God. Jesus. Okay, I'm keeping notes. Can we move on with the story? Yes. Okay. So, next missing person report is. Okay, that confused me for a second. Next missing person is Luisa Lanahan. Right there. She's been missing since 1998. The murder was reported in 2001, so just keep that in mind. You look like Fred Van. I don't know who the hell that is, but I'll take your word for it. Okay, missing person Luisa Lanahan. She was reported missing on March 17th, 1998 at 3 a.m. The person reporting is Roger Lanahan, her father. Reason for reporting this person missing. There was a fight with parents over being grounded. Parents came home from a party to find she packed, left a note saying she was stifled, and leaving home to pursue an acting. What the fuck? Did I not read that right, or does that sound weird? They fought, they came home, and there was a note saying she was stifled and leaving to pursue acting. Oh, sorry. Wait, are these actual cases? No, no, it's a game. It's a game. Her body was found in 2001. Yes. Body was found in. Let me see if I can get the exact date for you. That's not exact. April 23rd. April 23rd at 2001, her body was found. That was crazy. I've never had trolls like that before. That was. Uh, we'll give him a chance. We're watching you, buddy. Okay, let's see. Our missing person, Luisa Lanahan. She also goes by Lucky Lanahan. It's weird. She's 17 years old. She's 5'9", and she weighs 112. She was last seen wearing black leggings, an oversized Blink 182 shirt, and gray sweat socks. That's that's what I'm saying. Definitely a look. Her eyes are green, which I think she's the first one that her eyes aren't brown. She was last seen in Jersey City, New Jersey. She was last seen by her parents. They think she may be in Hollywood or New York City. Uh, yeah, that is a pretty big gap. Um, the only identifying characteristics are the gap in her front teeth. She's got asthma. Every single person so far has had asthma. She's double jointed. She lost her pinky toe on her left foot. That's an interesting uh, description. And she's got a heart-shaped birthmark on her right shoulder. And she wears contact lenses. These last three have also worn contacts. I don't know if that's like a thing. But yeah, so uh, let me pull out the autopsy really quick because I do believe so. Oh shit, you're right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Let me see. Where did I put the autopsy? Yeah, it doesn't say anything about a missing toe, so I think we can cross her off the list. Which she was a very weird sounding one, so I'm not surprised. All right, next one is Emma Lynn Simpson, right here. The one that I personally think looks most like the sketch. Which, by the way, that's our Jane Doe. For anybody that's just joining us. Wait, am I talking to someone? Yes. I was hoping that you'd be able to hear because I've got the Discord while streaming from my phone, but we can't, unfortunately. All right. Emma Lynn Simpson. She goes by the alias Sunshine. She See, dude, they fucking cover up some of this writing. Uh it's just not fair. Okay, she doesn't have a license. Um for her build it just says tall or average. 6 feet. Okay, so she's the tallest one so far. She weighs 135. Unique characteristics: gap between her front teeth. She has an appendectomy scar, and she wears contact lenses. Every single person so far wears contacts. I just thought you were going crazy. I mean, I am. So you're half right. Okay. No dental records, no medical records, no fingerprints. Her blood type is A plus. This is getting weird. Get this. Get this. She's got asthma. Every single person that we've read about has asthma. That that is really weird. Mental state. For mental state, it just says really mad at her dad and me. Okay. Oh, this was the girl that went missing in Wisconsin. So just keep that in mind. A plus means A positive. Yeah, I'm dumb. I Okay. It says the last time they saw her was the night before she left. Okay, so that means that she didn't just go missing. Then she I don't know. Last seen wearing a faded jean jacket with embroidered pink roses, leggings, a white Lifehouse T-shirt, and pink sneakers. So you definitely wouldn't miss her if you saw her. What it sounds like. Yeah, yeah. Her hobbies and interests are modeling, photography, music, helping out, and piano. Whatever helping out means. She like maybe like volunteering. Just the way they filled this out is weird. She keeps close to home mostly, helping her dad and I around the farm. Hey, there you go. YMCA, so that's community work. She she attended an academy, and it says she also frequently hangs out at a Dairy Queen. She doesn't have a car. Yeah. Okay. Any additional information? She wanted to go into modeling in a big city like LA or New York. Her dad and I were against it because those places are full of questionable people. She was really mad at us about it too. It broke our hearts. So we saved up and bought us a trip to LA for a few weeks so she could pursue her dream. Only problem was we were holding out to tell her about it on her birthday. That sucks. We were holding out to tell her about it on her birthday tomorrow, but she left not knowing, and we think she left because she thought we were holding her back. My heart's in a million pieces. Okay. I know, it sucks. It says the person reporting is Darla Jean Simpson, her mother. Blah, 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 blah. All right, that's enough for that one. Wisconsin. Yeah, so very far away. Okay, our next one is Kim Sun Rose, or Kim Rose Sun, our last missing person report, and the one that I think is least likely to be our person. But I'll save my opinions till the end. Okay, Kim Rose Sun. She's Asian. She was born in Indiana. She's 18 years old, 5'10", weighs 126. She's got a skinny build. Her eyes are brown. Her hair is black. She she's got the gap in her front teeth. Scars, marks, tattoos. It says detached toenail on her big toe on her left foot. So that's that's an interesting piece of information. She goes by the nickname Kim So. Her mental state, it says distracted lately. She was last seen on April 16th, 1995 in Apollonia. So she's in the location. She's around, but it's 95, so that's like 6 years earlier. It says her car was left at the marina. She was last seen in a blue sundress with white sneakers. Um, Her interests are photography, designing her own clothes, and she also has asthma. Wait, did the last girl have asthma? I don't remember. Yes. Yeah, every single person, they're asthmatic. That is interesting. That might be a good point. Hold on to that because I think they said in the report that they weren't sure if she died before or after being set on fire. So, hmm Rip the parents. F on the bad birthday presents. I think it is them just because you do not. Okay. All right. So you're putting your money on Kim Ro's son. I'll remember that. What's the good point? She was saying about the wait. Well, we were talking about the asthma, right? Yeah. Yeah. And what did you say that made me say good point? I've got very short memory. Yes, that's true. She was saying that if they didn't die from the because she had a really hard hit to her sternum, but in the report they also couldn't tell if she died before or after she was set on fire. So the asthma could play into like suffocating or something. All right, so for the narrative for this one, please help. We are so worried. My daughter Kim is missing, and the last place she went to was the Apollonia Marina to take pictures of the boats. She can't swim. I should have never let her go alone. She was supposed to be back for brunch at 11, but never came home. This isn't like her. Her car is still down there, and I'm so afraid she might have fallen in the water. Please help us find our daughter. That's sad. Oh, that is very true. That's very true. Why would you let your kid go around water if they can't swim? That's what she was saying. I I have to keep in my mind now that I have to iterate for both of us. Okay, so that's all the missing persons reports. We got suspect information now. So first up is Christopher King, the one that so far is looking the most likely, but I think that's what makes him not the killer. Okay, we've got a picture. And fuck, I can't remember what I was going to say. Oh yeah, for Jasmine Barstow, our first missing person, she was last seen getting on somebody's boat, a man with dark hair. So keep that in mind because Christopher King most definitely fits the description for that. That is our prime suspect at the moment. Yeah, that is our prime suspect at the moment. Christopher King. Right? He's a good looking dude. Christopher King. How do I it's got a wow, this is a nice paperclip. Person of interest, Christopher Aiden King. He's born in June 21st of 1969. He is divorced. He was born in Malibu, California. He's 32 years old. He is 5'11", and he weighs 160 pounds. You're looking good. Oh, thank you, thank you. Have you lost some weight? Maybe. I appreciate that though. Those other guys were being kind of mean. He's Caucasian. His shoe size is 10. His eyes are brown. His hair is brown. Oh, that's interesting. He was born. What? Listen to this. He was born. Where is it? Where is it? He was born in the same city that Luisa Lanahan went missing in, Jersey City. Now that's interesting. That is interesting. He's left-handed. He's got a tattoo on his left shoulder. It says "Survivor" graphic. I don't know what the hell that means. Um, right? It all connects. He's got a prior arrest for domestic abuse, but it says the charges were dropped. So yeah, yeah, we'll have to keep that in the back of our head. 69, it can't. Oh, that's what you were reading. Okay. He's employed by Del Fuego Rehab Center, which is where the murder took place. Uh, what? It also says his employer is the Sally Jesse Donahue Show. I don't. That could be. That's the first that I'm reading about that name, though. Says he's an addiction counselor. He's worked for 5 years at the rehab facility and for 10 months at the Sally Jesse Donahue Show. Um, okay, so we got a good little bit of writing right here that is basically his alibi for where he was when the murder took place. So it says April 23rd, 2001, 1:07 a.m. Last night I decided not to go back to my cabin and instead went over to the main house to go over the new patient's files. I really like to know as much as I can about them before we get into my intense sessions. I was there until I heard a commotion on the other side of the island. I hurried back to find my cabin engulfed in flames. Paula even risked her life to try and save me. What? That doesn't make any sense. Yeah, that's what he's saying. Under the cabin. Yeah. I hurried back to find my cabin engulfed in flames. See, and this is the part that's kind of confusing me too. He says Paula even risked her life to try and save me. Who's Paula, and what exactly did she do? Because he wasn't inside the cabin, unless he's saying that she was. I don't know. This is weird. This is weirdly written. So someone used his place. That's what that's what I was wondering, or I was wondering if maybe they thought that he was in there, so they were trying to help. I don't know. We'll see. I don't even know who Paula is. That's the first time I'm seeing that. So someone used his place to kill the person. We're not sure yet. We're not sure. All we know is that her body was found underneath the floor. After the fire went out, everyone was way too amped to sleep, so I figured it was the perfect opportunity to gather together for an intense all night group session back at the main house. I think we made some incredible progress. Really, dude? This is not the time or place. I think we made some incredible progress. Yeah, and this is kind of a weird, like, for him to be writing about it right here. That's kind of weird. Before we knew it, Ari and the fire department arrived. I don't know what to say about the dead body, but I had absolutely nothing to do with it. This whole thing is a lot to process. Watching the cabin burn to the ground along with my entire collection of rhyming motivational one-liners was really distressing. That's what you're worried about, my dude? They found a body in your cabin, and you're like, "Oh, my motivational one-liners." It's weird. I was in talks with the publisher, and I'll have to start over. Not sure I even have the heart to start. This guy's he's back at the top of my list. That's all I can say. hmm He's definitely sus. All right, let's see here. Witness statement. The witness is Dr. Kendra Matthews, the director of the entire rehab center. She was born in October 29th, 1962. Okay, and this is her statement. First, I want to say that I speak for all of the staff here at the Del Fuego Rehab Center when I say we are deeply saddened by this tragic event. We will cooperate 100% with anything you need. Excuse me. I've been the CEO and physician in charge at the Del Fuego Rehab Center for the past 7 months. And for the past 5 years, Christopher King has worked for us as an addiction counselor. Christopher fills everyone with hope almost from the moment they step foot onto the island. He knows how important that is to their journey since he was once in their shoes, a former addict. Okay. He also he also knows firsthand what a difficult path they are embarking on and works tirelessly to clear the road of any obstacles that might cause them to stumble and fall. Granted, some of his methods might be a little unorthodox, i.e., death therapy. What the fuck is death therapy? Yeah, what? Oh, Jesus. Death therapy is that's a weird phrase. However, we fully embrace a holistic approach to healing and have found his methods to be highly effective. I should also add that he's a very well respected TV counselor on the Sally Jesse Donahue show and has helped countless people through his efforts. There's even something in the works about giving him his own show. I believe the working title is Putting Out the Fires of Addiction with Christopher King. That is so fucking suspicious. For the most part, Christopher's record here has been exemplary. Before I took over, there were a few minor incidences girl where he snuck girlfriends out to the island. We have a very strict policy against allowing anyone on the island who isn't a patient or staff member. That rule wasn't exactly enforced by my predecessor, but after I came on board and hired Ari Urowitz, the problem was solved. So, not only does he have a history of drug addiction, he also has a history of domestic abuse, and now he has a history of smuggling people onto the island. Hmm. You're 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 making some good points. It's very coincidental, and it's very suspicious, and it's not looking good for this guy. Uh, Either it's him or somebody's doing a very fantastic job framing him up, but I don't know. We'll see. What did I read? Okay, so basically, nobody paid any mind to the smuggling people onto the island until Kendra took over, and then she hired Ari Urowitz, the head of the security. What are their good points? Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I'm trying my best to like reiterate. Uh, she was talking about how this guy he's getting a lot of situations are popping up that it's a little too suspicious to be like a coincidence, is what she was saying. I wonder. I don't know. I'll have to get a speaker or something. Death therapy is a therapy that targets death and the meaning of life. Is to teach acceptance. This isn't DVD. I know. I'm sorry. Also, hello, Celebi. We're working a murder case right now. It's actually a lot of fun. It's really interesting. Okay. Between Ari and his dog Scout, we've got the best security money can buy. Scout is truly amazing. I remember the first day he came to Del Fuego. He stepped one paw onto the island and immediately his ears perked up and he darted off into the bushes. It turned out one of Christopher's girlfriends was hiding somewhere on the other side of the island. It's a good thing Ari chased after him because Scout nearly ripped her arm off before Ari got there to make him release. Hmm. What's your theory? It's nice to see you too, Celebi. Sorry, go ahead. Yeah. Okay. So what you're saying is that he snuck a girl on, and he knew that. Sorry, can you repeat it for me? He knew. He knew that she would be found, so he murdered her and then burned the body to cover it up. That's what you're saying. Okay. Sorry, I'm trying to like make sure that I reiterate what you're saying because Mr. Murder is very interested in what you have to say. I wish I had my Bluetooth speakers. That would make this so much better. All right. So the head of security, Ari, his first day coming on, he brought his dog, and his dog immediately found one of Christopher King's girlfriends and attacked her. Is basically what it's saying. Now all of the staff are well aware that if they're caught harboring guests, they will be fired. Not to mention the possibility of their guests also getting mauled to death. We've had no problems in that regard since. Every motive, yes, yeah, that is true. Every evening before he takes the Captain Hooked back to the mainland, that's the name of the boat, Captain Hooked. Ari and Scout conduct a complete inspection of the island. Christopher calls it the Ari Safari. If there was anyone on the island before they left, dead or alive, Scout would have found them. Okay. Yeah, I need to reread that last part. Every evening before he takes the boat back to the mainland, he conducts a complete inspection of the island. If there was anyone on the island before they left, dead or alive, they would have found them. Okay. So what that is implying is that she got to the island after the security had already left. That's what it's implying. Because it's saying that whether she was dead or alive, they would have found her, essentially. Yeah. Yeah, that doesn't make much sense. We'll just have to keep going. Okay. Okay, so we've got an interview, an interrogation transcript with Christopher King. So let's go ahead and read that. Beginning of interview. Detective, please state your full name for the record. Christopher Aiden King. And you're the. Fuck, this is going to be hard. This is going to be hard to. Maybe I should just do voices. Okay, so here's my theory. Someone snuck in their girlfriend or whatever, and not knowing they were asthmatic, and to hide her, he told them to go under Chris's house, and when he came to spend time with her, she died from an asthma attack or something. As something fell on her, so to cover up, they set Chris's house on fire. See, and that if it wasn't for the extensive injury to her chest, that would actually be a really good theory because it makes a lot of sense. Because every single person has asthma, so that's definitely it has to mean something. But her, oh, maybe I don't know because maybe I should describe the way the body was found just so that it makes sense. So what had happened was they said that she got a very like how do I word it? Something hit her in the chest very hard, and she was then set on fire underneath the floor. I don't know what the fuck I'm trying to say. This is so much reading. I'm getting confused. But if that's your theory, we'll add it to the list, and we'll see how it plays out. I, as of right now, don't even have any theories at the moment because everything is just confusing. Mhm. That would be that would be really good. I like that idea. Oh, you're gonna love this. I'll get to it. I'm looking at it right now and like it just screams sus for Christopher King. Oh my god. All right, so the interview. I'm gonna do two different voices because we're reading detective and then king. Please state your name. Please state your full name for the record. I don't want to do this. I wish we could share the paper. Please state your full name for the record. Christopher Aiden King. And you're the addiction counselor here, right? For how long? Yes, that's right. I've been a counselor here for 5 years. Are you famous? Feel like I've seen you before. Are you an actor too? Not an actor, but I am famous. I'm a regular on the Sally Jesse Donahue show. Yeah, that's where they're always throwing chairs, right? You're also a former addict? Yes, to being a former addict, it helps me, relate to the patients. That must be a great asset. That must be a great asset. I suppose otherwise it'd be like the blind leading the blind. If the counselor didn't practice what he preached. Right. If a drug counselor got caught using, he'd lose his license, right? Right again. Makes sense. How long have you been clean? Going on 9 years now. Oh, good for you. I understand a few days ago a staff member reported seeing you take what? A staff member reported seeing you take drugs from the holding cabinet where stuff sometimes smuggled in by patients is stored. Ah, yes, that was her story. One of our housekeepers, Maria. Never trusted her. I actually caught her rifling through that cabinet and she fabricated the story about me taking drugs instead of her. They didn't take her accusation seriously as they checked her purse and found a bunch of Percocets. Accusing me was a sad attempt at saving herself. So we're coming back to Maria. Don't mind me as I'm throwing anything at the wall and hoping it sticks. Oh man. Okay, so he's got a bone to pick with Maria, and she's one of the missing persons. So that's a little suspicious. Um, any idea where she is now? No, she was fired, and apparently also missing. No one's seen her in days. Maybe she's strung out somewhere. Who knows? So I heard Scout hates you. What on earth does that have to do with anything? It's not me. That dog is a menace. Bit me on 3 separate occasions right in the butt. And each time, all Ari did was laugh and tell Scout he's a good boy. Okay, so this guy's got a couple run-ins with the security as well. Yeah. Yeah, he's looking worse and worse in my opinion. So he's got an issue with security. Uh, he's a former drug addict. Maria reported seeing him steal drugs, but he turned that around on her. So that's a little weird. Christopher, where were you last night between 10:30 and 1 a.m.? People thought you were still in your cabin. Paula May even busted down the door to save you. Ah. Yes, that was really big of her, and I thanked her profusely. I was up at the main building going over the new patients' files one more time. Well, that's very dedicated of you. It's odd though because you finally showed up. Because when you finally showed up, you were seen coming from the other direction. Okay, so I lied about that. I wasn't studying patient files. I was over on the other side of the island. Doing what? Relaxing, writing some poetry, if you must know. There's a cave over there and it's quite peaceful. You can't imagine the pressures of this job. Are they enough to start using again? No, of course not. Then why did we find a bag of marijuana and pills right next to a poem that appears to be written by you? Recognize this? Are you the Fire King, Christopher? Oh, the Fire King is also the name of his poem, which I have right here. That's what I saw, and look, it's not looking good, Christopher. That's all I can say. Anyway, are you the Fire King, Christopher? It's my work, yes, but the drugs aren't mine. I just found them on the grounds and had to make sure they didn't fall into the wrong hands. And it's part of my job, you know. I'm gonna have you take a drug test. It's just a formality so we can confirm your story. That's absurd. I'm an addiction counselor. I'm the famous addiction counselor. Look, you can either take it willingly or a judge will make you take it. What? Look, there's absolutely no reason to do that. Or you could just tell me the truth. Okay, okay. I occasionally smoke some weed. No big deal. It helps me relax. And the pills were for a recent back injury I aggravated at the dock. The pills weren't prescribed to you. What's with all these questions? I'm an addiction therapist. I'm on TV. What do you want from me? The truth. As in, what were you really doing last night? I was at the cave and I stayed there until I heard the commotion. How did your cabin burn down? Because it was on fire? Don't get cute with me. I heard you're a genius at starting bonfires on damp nights. So? So, I think you set the fire. You're the fire king. That's nuts! The lighter and gas were at the fire pit for anyone to grab. Were you in love with Maria? That's preposterous. No. Was she blackmailing you? No. For what? She was on pills. You can't trust her. As an addiction expert, I can tell you. Let me stop you right there, Mr. King. It's you I don't trust. You clearly just admitted to using and lying about it, so I'm not really interested in your professional assessments. Well, I just think you want to know what I think, Mr. King. I think you burned down your own cabin with her underneath, and I'm going to figure out why. You're crazy. There's nothing to figure out here. Why did you persuade Ari not to call the authorities until morning? I said it right from the beginning. The gaps in time were fucking weird. Sorry. It's looking more and more likely. Yes. Sorry, Mr. Murder. It's looking more and more likely like it's Maria, the former housemaid. That's what B was saying. Why did you persuade Ari not to call the authorities until morning? What? That was his idea. The fire was out. Everyone was safe. Not the girl under the cabin. She wasn't safe, Chris. And if it turns out to be Maria, you're going to have a lot more to worry about than just losing your counselor's license. End of interview. All right. Woo! Yay! We're getting somewhere. Yeah. Yeah, we're the first objective is to find out how Jane Doe got to the island. Yeah. Okay, so here is the poem written by Christopher King, and it's titled I Am the Fire King. I think you'll find this very interesting. A poem by C.A. King. A burning ember from the past gave me warmth, but left too fast. I long to feel that heat again. In those flames eternity spends. I'm not quite sure what order to read this. Do I go like that, you think? Like like that? Or like that? Oh, okay, okay, okay. That is what this soul desires, to roast in such delightful fires. Once more, for always until the end, to be in love and not pretend. The charred remains of hearts gone cold conceals my longing for things untold. For when I met you, sparks ignited, so many wrongs in life were righted. You fueled my fire, sent it blazing. For you, to me, were just amazing. But swiftly things went up in smoke when I caught you with that other blow. It had to end with scorching flares. For consequence, I have no cares. You're dead to me, true love smothered. You are, in fact, just like my mother. That is a weird ass fucking poem. Okay. She cheated on him and he murdered her. This is weird. I'm trying to think because when they found out his cabin was on fire, Paula was already there. So I'm wondering if he would have enough time to set the body on fire and then leave and then act like he's seeing it for the first time. Does that make sense? All right, I'm gonna put this back together and then we'll read the next file. But Christopher King is already looking pretty suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Oh my goodness. Or he's just one of those guys that's like unfortunately very fucking suspicious. Okay, our next file is for, oh, we do actually have a file for Paula. That's good. That's going to be interesting. Our next file is for somebody named Ava B Lawrence. She's one of the patients at the center. Ava B Lawrence. Okay, we're going to start with person of interest file. Person of interest, Ava Barbara Lawrence. Date of birth is April 26, 1974. She's single. She was born in Hollywood. She's 5'5" and she weighs 122 pounds. She's left-handed. She has no defining scars, marks, or tattoos. She has a prior arrest for possession of cocaine and a DUI. Uh, she's employed by something called Hollywood Hills Studios. Mhm. She's got two cars, so she's got money. Oh, she's an actress. She's an actress. Okay. Okay, and her alibi. After our campfire was over, I decided to go over the script changes in my latest film. I was rehearsing a scene when I noticed a red ember float past the window. I stepped onto the porch and saw the counselor's cabin on fire. I started screaming because I thought he was inside, and within a few moments, the rest of the patients were out there yelling as well. We didn't know it was empty until after Paula busted the door off the hinges and nearly died trying to rescue that guy. Then Counselor King appears out of nowhere and says he was reviewing our files in the main house. But he came from another direction, and Rob asked him about that, but he changed the subject right away. Said we must take advantage of this opportunity for an emergency group intervention and dragged us up to the main house for some ridiculous all night session. It was very weird. He seemed kind of angry and yelled a lot. Something's not right about that guy. He was real feely with me at the marina. Okay, something. Uh, okay, so the section says individuals who can confirm your whereabouts at the date and time of the incident, and it just says we were all alone in our cabins because that's what Counselor King told us to do after the campfire was over. Okay, so that could have been a way of him setting up his own alibi by making sure none of them had an alibi, if that makes sense. Wood snatch. Yeah, Ava, she's kind of bad. Wait, they were all alone? Yes, every single person was in their own cabins, respectively. So they were all alone. That is until they all came outside to see the fire. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. So there was a group session, but it was after everybody found out the cabin was on fire. That's what they're saying is weird, is because this fire is going on, and Christopher King is like, you know what? We should use this as inspiration, and he takes them all back to the main building and has a group therapy session. So they were together for that, but not during the fire. Okay, witness statement. Full name Stephen. I'm not going to read that because it's got nothing. Ava B Lawrence is currently under. Oh, this is her employer. Okay. Ava B Lawrence is currently under contract at Hollywood Hills Studios as an actress. She's one of our biggest names. Ava has done 4 films with us, and we are currently in production on her 5th. She's simply box office gold. Ava gives 110% when the cameras are rolling. Can you not touch that, please? Sorry if the camera's moving. Has an uncanny ability to memorize her lines almost instantly. Even though she knows how to play the part of a charming young actress, Ava can be difficult to work with, as she demands perfection from herself and everyone else. Even the slightest screw up from another actor, cameraman, caterer, or if one of her hairs is out of place, she completely loses it. So she's got an anger problem, is what it sounds like. Or OCD. Yeah, OCD sounds like. It was brought to my attention that one of the costume designers had seen her snorting cocaine in her trailer. I was extremely disappointed. She knows I have no tolerance for that sort of thing at my studio. Had it been anyone else, I would have fired them on the spot, but she's our biggest star and currently under contract, so that would be difficult. I spoke with her about getting help and told her that if she didn't check into rehab ASAP, she was fired. Hi, can you not do that, please? Ooh. She didn't check into rehab ASAP. She was fired. She agreed and said she'd never let anything stand in the way of being the best actress she could be. Stupidly, I believed her. In my defense, she's one heck of an actress. What? Oh, okay, yeah. I was having a hard time concentrating on that last part. For a while, she seemed fine and showed no signs of using, but over the next few weeks, Ava's behavior became increasingly worse. Several times she took out her anger on inanimate objects. After hearing that she had yet another violent outburst on the set, this time destroying a $250,000 camera, I gave instructions for Ava to go directly to her trailer and wait for me. She blew me off and left the set, crashing into my Bentley on the way out. Jesus. She took off and was soon being chased by the Apollonia Police Department. They were only able to catch up with her, ironically, after her car ran out of gas directly in front of the theater where her current movie, Busted, was playing. That's a very weird piece of information, but her lawyers are working a deal to keep her out of jail and the story out of the press. I'm not sure how they managed it, but I'm sure it wasn't cheap. I don't care though. I just want her to get clean so she can finish this latest superhero film. I have a feeling these are going to be really popular one day. I've known Ava for many years, since she was around 10, in fact. She'd come for hours and hours and just sit there, watching her mother act. Barbara was a great actress in her day, too. Ava may be spoiled, prissy, and hard to get along with at times, but in no way is she capable of murder. Okay. Most of that felt kind of pointless, if I'm being totally honest. But, okay. We've got uh, we've got an interrogation for transcript for Ava B Lawrence. So let's go ahead. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Go for it. Yeah, I'll be here. Excuse me. This is fun. I like this a lot. hide themselves away. They only started the war. Why should we know how to fight? Lean out to the bar. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, my radio's on. This is a lot of fun. I think I'm gonna have to buy more of these. And we're almost through all of the paperwork, so we're gonna have to start making some assumptions pretty soon. Hmm. All right, you ready? All right. So the interview with Ava B Lawrence. Please state your name for the record. Ava Barbara Lawrence. Ava B Lawrence, can you please tell me why you checked into the Del Fuego Rehab Center? Don't most of the rich and famous people in show business check into quaint little rehab centers at some point? It's practically in vogue these days. But you it says laughs, so that's why I did that. But you asked you asked me why I'm here, so I'll tell you my little secret. I'm a coke addict, but I'm determined to beat this. Drugs are so bad, and if Ava B. Lawrence can get hooked, it can happen to anyone. Oh, if you're serious about beating this, I wish you all the best of luck. Thanks, but luck won't be necessary. I may flinch at the thought of breaking a nail, but I don't like the I don't like the way they wrote this one. I may flinch at the I don't like her either. I may flinch at the thought of breaking a nail, but I'm as tough as nails when I'm determined to succeed. I think I heard you say that in a movie promo once. Good line. He saw right through that shit. Completely shot her down. I see here you were arrested for DUI, possession of cocaine, leaving the scene of an accident, and evading the police. Rumor has it the studio told you to check into rehab or you were fired. It really isn't the way it looks. They adore me. They're just looking out for my best interests. I understand your lawyers have managed to keep you out of jail and out of the press. Yes, that's correct, but it wasn't cheap. Oh, pretty lucky if you ask me. Well, no one ever said being Ava B. Lawrence doesn't have its perks. Haha. You must have flinched quite a bit lately. I'm sorry? Your nails, they're short and jagged. You said you flinched at the thought of breaking one. Oh, that. I'm playing a superhero named Blaze. She can put out fires with her fingertips. I'm doing all my own stunts, and let me tell you, it's an absolute hell on my nails. Sounds like you have a new line for the next promo tour. When's the new movie coming out? Next summer. Let's hope you aren't sitting in jail for murder during the release. What in the world are you talking about? You're not quite the actress in real life as you are on the screen, Miss Lawrence. It's quite clear you're only here playing the part of the actress who wants to get clean. You're just trying to get back to your cocaine snorting superhero life. Look, whether that's true or not, and it certainly isn't, what does that have to do with murder? Who was that under the cabin, Ava? Did somebody find out you were a snitch and come out to get you? What are you talking about? What's a snitch? You're fucking stupid. I saw you in I saw you in Busted, so I know you're fully aware of what a snitch is. I understand you wore a wire on your drug dealer to avoid prison time. Who else knew? What? No one. How did you know that? I didn't even wear the wire yet, and there were only supposed to be a few people who knew about that. And now you, I guess. Well, it shouldn't be hard for you to confirm with them. We didn't even do it yet. Feels like you're hiding something from me, Ava. Did somebody come out here to pay you a visit? Drop off a little nose candy, perhaps? You're insane. Maybe you ought to focus your attention on that psycho ex supermodel Paula. She's been acting like a real whack job ever since we were at the marina. Barely spoke to anyone on the Captain Hooked. I fucking hate they call it that. The Captain Hooked. Glared at everyone, especially me, and spent most of her time in her cabin. She even went nuts on some poor waitress. Then, last night, she tried her very best to act like a hero instead of the murderous monster she really is. Paula May, supermodel turned superhero? Give me a break. I hear you tried to stop her from going into the cabin to rescue Christopher. Well, that was just stupid on her part. We had two guys standing right there, and just because one was a pretty boy and the other too scared to try and get the door open, it didn't mean she should risk life and limb. I certainly wasn't going to. But she got down in a 3-point stance and then rammed into that door so hard it flew off the hinges. Turned out he wasn't even in there. He showed up out of nowhere right after she busted through. We're going to be searching your cabin later. Anything you want to tell me about? I don't have any coke if that's what you're asking. Go right ahead and search my whole cabin. Degrading as hell, but can't wait to prove you wrong. You'll owe me a huge apology, maybe even your badge. By the way, is there anyone alive who can vouch for your whereabouts last night between 10:30 and 1 a.m.? Cute. And no, there isn't. If you must know, I couldn't sleep, so I went over my lines. They made major changes to the script and handed it to me the day I left for rehab. Why don't you test me on the lines if you don't believe me, detective? I don't need to. I'm already reading between the lines, Ava. That'll be all for now. This shit is so cheesily written. Yeah, it is fun. It is fun. The kitty just wants cuddles. I know. I don't like her either. Actually, she's kind of a D. Right. All right. We got one more thing for hers, and then we're on to the next suspect. Non-prosecution immunity agreement. On the understanding specified below, the Apollonia Department of Justice Narcotics Department will not criminally prosecute Ava B Lawrence for any crimes arising from and related to her arrest for DUI, possession of 2.9 ounces of cocaine, fuck, leaving the scene of an accident, it really is, and resisting arrest on April 12th, 2001. Okay. The department enters into this non-prosecution agreement based on the individual's full cooperation with the department in the investigation and prosecution of other individuals implicated in drug trafficking named below. So this is what he was talking about how she was going to wear a wire and basically rat on her drug dealer. It is understood that the individual admits, accepts, and acknowledges responsibility for her arrest and agrees not to make any public statement about the matter indefinitely. This agreement shall have a term of 2 years. For the 2-year term of this agreement, the individual shall commit no crime, truthfully and completely disclose all known information with respect to the activities of Rosa Elena Cruz and all known associates, and within 30 days of the execution of this agreement, conduct a purchase of illegal narcotics from Rosa Cruz while wearing a hidden audio recording device. Fuck, I hate this paperwork. The individual has also agreed to pay a monetary penalty of $100,000 to the Apollonia clerk's office within 10 days of executing this agreement. No tax deduction may be sought in connection with this payment. 100,000, Jesus. State right? Jesus. Statement of facts. The department and individual agree that the following facts are true and correct. On April 12th, 2001, in Apollonia, California, Ava B. Lawrence was arrested for DUI, possession of 2.9 ounces of cocaine, leaving the scene of an accident, and resisting arrest, all of which combined are punishable by up to 20 years in prison. Upon interrogation, the individual admitted to purchasing the narcotics directly from Rosa Cruz on April 7th, 2001. She's been buying illegal drugs from her for over a year since they met at a party at Burt Reynolds' residence. The Apollonia Vice Unit has spent several years investigating Rosa Cruz for drug trafficking, but have yet to secure a conviction because she manages all illicit actions through intermediaries, and detectives have been unable to find anyone willing to risk their own life to testify. On April 19th, 2001, the individual's attorney, Sophia Lorenzo, contacted District Attorney Ethan Goldman, offering assistance in gathering incriminating evidence against Rosa Cruz. Lorenzo suggested that the individual wear a wire and use her preeminent thespian skills to make a significantly large drug purchase from Miss Cruz in exchange for immunity in the above mentioned arrest. Fuck, that was so much reading. Ugh. All right, so that's that. Uh, in drug terms, yes, ounces is a lot. Specifically for cocaine, that is a lot. All right, so the theory for this person, Ava B. Lawrence, is that what Christopher King threw at the detective is that Ava B. Lawrence is she's working undercover, uh, trying to basically rat on her drug dealer to get rid of her prison sentence, her charges. Fuck, I don't know how to say it. She she's going undercover to rat on her drug dealer so that she doesn't get in trouble. And the theory is that the drug dealer found out and she sent somebody to uh, kill her. I think is what they were saying. It's a little out there. It's a little out there, but weirder things have happened. Yeah, I don't think so. All right, on to the next suspect. 20. It's only because of coke. If it was weed, you get like 40. It's also 20 years because not only did she have possession of a lot of cocaine, she also resisted arrest and she left the scene of an accident. And yeah, so all of that combined was what made it 20 years. All right, our next suspect is another patient of the Del Fuego rehab facility, name of Jack Danner. Pretty good looking guy, if you ask me. I'd do some bad things for him. Anyway, off topic. All right, Jack Danner. This one's actually, I think she's too stupid to pull off arson. Uh, well, you would be right, but what had happened was the body was set on fire, and the stuff they used to set her on fire, they just left it there. So that is pretty stupid. All right, person of interest: Jack Diego Danner, born February 14th, 1967, lives in Beverly Hills, California. He is 34 years old. He is 5'10", weighs 193 pounds. He is Hispanic, eyes brown, hair black. Wow, he was born in my city, San Bernardino, California. That's pretty cool. Please don't doss me. He's excuse me. He is right-handed, which is a first for the suspect so far. He has a chest tattoo of a coiled cobra wrapped in barbed wire. Pretty edgy, bro. All right. He's got a chest tattoo. He has a prior arrest for DWI. I can't remember what that is. DUI is driving under influence. DWI is driving while intoxicated, I think, maybe. But that would be the same. Can you look that up for me real quick? That could be. I can't look it up because if I do anything on my phone, it's gonna. Oh, I wonder what the difference is then. Oh, okay, I understand. I understand. All right. Well, we'll just go with the initial explanation that you gave that it's under the influence of like prescription stuff, anything like that. Okay, so I wonder if under the influence is when it's like below that limit, and then while impaired is above it, maybe. All right, let's see here. Goodness. Yeah, that is true. All right, so for his employment, he is the vice president of Bellevue Modeling Agency. He's been working there for 8 months. Uh, his alibi. After a pathetically long and boring group session at the fire pit, I returned to my cabin and went to bed around 11. I slept soundly until I heard a woman screaming fire and went out to see the counselor's cabin had turned into a blazing inferno. Then the next morning, they go and discover a dead body under there. Makes no sense because, according to Ari, there were only five of us on the island, not six. Maybe instead of spending all his time rummaging through people's belongings, he should busy himself by learning how to count. That was a pretty short one. Uh, but this one's weird because he didn't say anything about the group therapy session after. Mm, that is a good point. It's definitely if they were informed, because I don't think Ava mentioned anything about a dead body, did she? Let me see. Yeah, see, because in the initial statement, it doesn't look like she mentioned anything about a body. So he's the first one so far. We'll have to keep note of that. All right. Witness statement for Jack Danner, provided by Ari Urowitz, the head of security. I'm the head of security for the Del Fuego Rehab Center, and I, along with my trusty sidekick Scout, keep the island safe from outsiders and protect the patients from both themselves and each other. I also drive our boat, the Captain Hooked, bringing employees and patients to and from the island each day. Scout, my highly trained security dog, is my first mate. This morning at 1:07 a.m., I got a call from our counselor, Chris King. He reported there'd been a fire in his cabin. He thought it was caused by lightning and said the place went up freakishly quick and burned to a crisp. Luckily, the heavy rain put it out. After learning everyone was safe and accounted for, I decided to wait until daybreak to call in the authorities for a routine inspection. Weird. I arrived to the island at the same time as the fire department. The things got real very quickly. First, they found the lighter and gas can, proving it was arson. Then they found a body under the rubble. For the record, Scout and I conducted an extensive security check yesterday evening. Before we left for the main before we left for the mainland, we walked the whole island to make sure no one was lurking around. It's our nightly routine, and King even started calling it the Ari Safari. Thinks he's Johnny Cochran with all his rhymes. And now that stupid phrase has caught on with the staff. Maybe I should train Scout to relieve himself inside King's secret cave he thinks no one knows about. No one knows about as a token of my gratitude. Anyways, if there was another person, living or dead, on Del Fuego Island when we left at dusk, Scout would have been all over them. Only the counselor and the 4 guests were there. I'd bet my mother's life on it. Wait. I need to confirm something really quickly. I feel like I'm missing out on the convo. I know, I'm sorry. What's going on? Oh, hey, what's up, Jay? How you doing? Okay, no. I thought I had something, but I don't. Yeah, it's 5 suspects, but only 4 of them are patients. Because that's what caught me up too. Not good. I have food poisoning right now. I'm sorry to hear that, Jay. I hope it passes quickly. Only the counselor and the 4 guests were there. I'd bet my mother's life. But with this cast of characters, I'm not surprised all hell broke loose. Rest assured, one of them is guilty. I don't know who, but here's what I can tell you. Just after we stepped onto the island's dock yesterday, I found a motherload of liquor in Jack Danner's suitcase. I'm talking enough booze to get Rhode Island drunk. How clueless could this dude be? It's not like this is a rehab center or anything. Told him nicely this wasn't a cruise and started removing bottles. That moron went ballistic. He shoved me up against the pylon and started screaming and swearing in my face. Amongst the many assorted, colorful, and creative expletives, he said, "Put it back or I'll mess you up so bad your own mother won't even recognize you." Okay, so Jack Danner is. Oh shit, it goes on. Fuck, this is a long ass statement, dude. Yeah, look at this. I just read all of that, and there's more. Jesus. Also, did he mention a hidden cave? Yes, the Christopher King, our prime suspect. He's got a secret location that he goes to write poetry and unwind, is what he says. And the security guy right here, yeah, and this security guy right here just said that he knows of the secret cave. It's not as secret as he thought. I doubt my mom will let me stay home. She'll probably tell me to go to school. Oh, that's trash. I hate when that happens. Dude had no business mentioning my mother, and he was getting unruly, so I had to put him into a mounted choke position. King tried to intervene, but got pushed into the water. Got pushed into the water somehow and started screaming like a sopranic schoolgirl that he herniated a disc. What do you even do with a guy like that? After that episode, I chatted with Mr. Danner and impressed upon him how much nicer it'd be in his cabin with no booze than in a jail cell with a guy named Bruce. He agreed to let me take the stash, and I agreed to release him. No doubt Jack Danner is an imbecile of epic proportions, but I can't tell you if he's a murderer. I can tell you that I spent over 10 years in Chayatet what? In Chayatet 13 and studied Krav Maga for over 20. And if this dude could shove me up against a post like that, I'm sure he'd have no trouble overpowering an average person. As for Rob Knox, back at the Apollonia Marina, a reporter asked him some questions, and I saw him grab her wrist like he wanted to rip it off. I was about to intervene when she took off. I gave him the eye, and trust me, he knew what it meant. Paula May, just wow. She may have been a great model, but there's something seriously up with her. Getting her to pose for a picture in front of the boat felt like trying to get an angry walrus on a surfboard. The whole boat ride, she just glowered at us. That's what Ava said, that she was mad dogging everybody. Later in the dining room, she freaked out on a waitress, then cornered me, demanding to know the island was paparazzi free. It was, but even still, That woman needs to chill big time. Also, how are y'all? We're doing pretty good. We're just trying to solve a murder if you want to help us out. Then there's Miss Ava Lawrence. Never met a chick so stuck up. And I live in California. Acts like she's got no business being here. Hello, you're a drug addict. Anyway, there's one thing I give her credit for. Chris King was getting a bit too friendly with her during the group photo, so just after the flash snaps, she steps on his toe, pretends to lose her balance, and knees him hard right where it counts. Damn, dude, dude walked funny for an hour. She pretended it was an accident and acted sorry, but I've been around martial arts long enough to tell when someone knows what they're doing. A couple days ago, Mr. King was what? What? She need him in the junk. A couple respect. A couple days ago, Mr. King was accused of taking pills from the drug cabinet by Maria, one of our housekeepers. After she, I'm gonna double check something really quickly. Make sure these dates line up. Okay, that actually does line up pretty good. Just for uh, to refresh, Maria Gonzalez, she was the she like worked room service, right? And she got hired. She went missing 3 days before the murder. So just keep that in the back of your head. Definitely suspicious. Okay. A couple of days ago, Mr. King was accused of taking pills from the drug cabinet by Maria, one of our housekeepers. Oh, and just a reminder as well, he was found with pills were found at his cave, and he said that he found them and he was going to bring them back, right? He was accused of taking pills from the drug cabinet by Maria. After she came to me, King claimed he actually caught her stealing the pills. I checked her bag, and lo and behold, there was a full bottle of Percocet in there. The situation felt weird to me, though, because Maria doesn't seem like the type. She's one of those vegans, and quite frankly, I've never trusted King. Oh, I've never trusted King. Major reason being that my dog despises the dude. That being said, Scout worshipped the ground Maria walked on. When Scout wasn't on duty, he followed her everywhere, like he was her personal protection unit. I hope this information helps to get to the bottom of this case. As the head of security, I will do everything in my power to help facilitate your investigation. So Christopher King is looking more and more guilty as we go on, but that's no big surprise. Mm-hmm. Will you quit that? Fucking weirdo. All right. We've got our interview for Jack Danner. Another long one, so bear with me. Please state your full name for the record. Jack Diego Danner. Can you tell me why you checked into rehab? My wife thinks I drink too much. She's completely overreacting as usual. Thing is, she's a lot older than me and acts like a mother hen, if you know what I mean. But I'm an easygoing guy and she takes good care of me, so I do what I can to keep her happy. Oh, so you got a sugar mama, is what it sounds like. I hear you. I hear you tried to smuggle a sizable amount of alcohol onto the island. Are you sure you don't have a problem? Hey, look, I'm a social drinker, and this is group therapy. I just like to have a good time, and I needed to make sure things didn't get dull. Sounds like you sure. Sounds like you made sure things wouldn't get dull before you guys even stepped onto the land. You went a little nuts when Ari took your booze. I hear you shoved him up against the pylon. Told him you'd mess him up so bad his own mother wouldn't recognize him. I might have overreacted just a tad. You think? Look, I was in a state, okay? I was seasick and he had his hands all over my stuff. Has drinking ever impaired your judgment? Of course not. What about your DWI arrest last month? The traffic incident? Total misunderstanding. I'd only had a couple of drinks at a company party. You blew 2 times the legal limit and were clocked going 94 in a 45. Jesus. There was also a 21-year-old cocktail waitress passed out right next to you. This was 2 in the morning, according to the police report. Hey, just trying to be a gentleman, give her a lift home. Didn't even know her. Heard she was walking home after a shift, so I tried to do the right thing. Did you try to sell that story to your wife? Can't imagine she bought it. Nope. She's had me followed everywhere since it happened. To be honest, I was looking forward to rehab so I could enjoy a little freedom. Freedom to do what exactly? I heard 3 of the female staff members have already complained about you hitting on them. Complained? I'm just a friendly guy, that's all. Look, the last thing I need is for my wife to hear these crazy accusations. If word gets back, I'll be out on the street without a dime. Oh, I guess she doesn't trust you very much. Wonder why. Okay, I've had it about up to here, detective. You have no business sticking your nose in my personal life. Last time I checked, you had a dead body to deal with. That's right. I do have a dead body to deal with, which is precisely why I have my nose stuck in your personal life. Tell me, Jack, did you invite that cocktail waitress to come out to the island so things, you know, wouldn't get dull? I have no idea what you're talking about. How'd you get her out here, Jack? What? This is. I thought you could keep it a secret, huh? Sneaking your girlfriend onto the island, but you weren't counting on Ari and Scout sniffing around in your business, and it was just too risky. She ended up being far more of a problem than an amusement for you. I really don't know what you're talking about here. The island's a lot smaller than you thought. You knew you couldn't keep the girl a secret, so you got rid of her. Or maybe you thought your wife set you up. Hmm. Makes sense, don't you think? No, it doesn't. Doesn't make any sense. So Ari takes all your booze. You start getting the shakes, feeling a little paranoid, and suddenly this girl is a risk you can't afford. So you took care of her. No, I didn't. I think you did. And then you burned the body to destroy the evidence. Do the right thing, Jack. Tell me what happened. We're going to find out who she is, and I doubt we'll have any trouble connecting her to you. It's not too late for us to work together to fix this. I can't believe this. I did not bring anybody out here with me, and I didn't kill anyone. Please don't let this line of questioning get back to my wife. If you didn't bring anybody out here, then why did we find an empty bottle of whiskey and 2 glasses in your cabin? Ooh, okay. I asked one of the waitresses, Wanda, I think, if she could get her hands on some of the liquor that I brought. Told her there was $500 in it for her if she could. So she did, and we had a toast. I asked her if she wanted to help me finish the bottle, but she said if she got caught, it'd cost her her job. That's it, I swear. And she'll be able to verify this. I highly doubt it. She'd lose her job, remember? I see. So I assume there's no one who can verify your whereabouts between the hours of 10:30 and 1 a.m. There's no one, but I can assure you I was fast asleep by 11. I had a little too much Jack and was out cold until I heard people screaming fire. Too much Jack, huh? I can relate. My heart goes out to your wife. We're done for now. Okay. So, this at point 16. Oh, right. Jesus. So he was fucked up. And this one actually goes in line with your theory about you were saying they snuck them onto the island and then they didn't want to get caught, so they just killed her. You know something interesting about his picture too? I don't know if this is going to be anything. It looks like he's got a little bit of bruising right here, doesn't it? Oh, sorry. It's pretty prominent. No, he's got the tattoo on his chest, but that's it. Well, because a lot of these pictures are like, look at this one. She was the one that was in the fire, basically. So maybe it is a detail. I don't know. We'll see. All right, we've got an arrest report for Jack Danner, arrested on March 23rd, 2001. He was speeding 94 and a 45 and a DWI. Uh, Alcohol and traffic related. Arrest occurred. Jack Danner. Blah, 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 blah. It says that his car is very well polished, very well taken care of. Driver highly intoxicated, suspicious behavior. March 23rd, 2001 at 1:51 a.m., Officer Roscoe Denton clocked a red 2001 Jaguar convertible with a California license plate traveling 94 miles per hour in a 45 mile per hour zone southbound on Seacliff Road. When Officer Denton pulled the vehicle over, the driver, Jack Danner, age 34 from Beverly Hills, California, was clearly intoxicated. Mr. Danner was asked to step out of the vehicle where he failed a sobriety test. His breathalyzer test results revealed his blood alcohol concentration to be 0.17%. So you got that right. You basically got it right. In the passenger seat was a young woman who was initially passed out. Her ID indicated her to be 21-year-old Rebecca Burns of Los Angeles. At first, she became hysterical as she couldn't recall who Mr. Danner was or how she'd gotten into his vehicle. Then she vaguely remembered meeting Mr. Danner at the club where she works as a cocktail waitress. Mr. Danner claimed he was only trying to be a gentleman and give her a ride. Officer Roscoe Denton took her home instead, like the true gentleman he is. What? That was weird. Nice. All right, that's it for Jack Danner. We've got two more suspects, and then we're done with all the files. Then we're gonna have to start making our assumptions. This is exciting. Yeah. Oh shit. Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. That would be great. That would be great. All right. I appreciate it. All right. Our next suspect is one Paula May. She's the one that was found busting down the door to Christopher King's cabin as it was burning. Paula May. And she does have a very peculiar look about her that seems to go in line with all of the witness statements. The crazy that would be fun. Is there a crazy that's fun? You gotta find the right balance. Holy sh! All right. Person of interest: Paula June Marie May. Date of birth: January 21st, 1971. She's divorced. She lives in North Hollywood, California. 30 years old. She's 6 feet tall. For weight, it just says no. I don't know what that means. I wonder if they're going to mention that. We'll see. She's born in Los Angeles. She's right handed. She's got no defining marks, tattoos, or scars. She has no prior arrests. Uh, she's employed by Paula May Cosmetics. She's a former supermodel. She's been employed at Paula May Cosmetics for 12 years. And she owns three cars: a Land Rover, a Lamborghini, and a Hummer. So she's pretty fucking well off, as you can tell. Oh yeah, these are new too. Her Lamborghini is a 2000, so that's literally like 1 year old. All right, her alibi. I was exhausted and fell fast asleep as soon as I returned to my cabin after the bonfire until I was awoken to people screaming fire. I thought maybe the bonfire restarted, but then I looked and saw one of the cabins in full blaze. We were all worried Christopher was inside, but Rob, Jack, and Ava were no help whatsoever. So I took matters into my own hands and busted through the door to try and save him. I couldn't find him, but luckily I was able to get back out safely, and Christopher showed up right then. He wound up pushing us into the somewhat disorganized group session that lasted the entire night after that. We had no idea about the dead body until the morning. I honestly don't even know what to think about that because Ari swore to me on his mother's life that the island was 100% clear of any outsiders. You know, I get the feeling that Paula's got something going on with Christopher. It's There's something weird for sure because she's the only person that seems to like give a shit about what happens to this guy. Everybody else seems to really not like him. And she immediately busted that door down. So that is well, we shall see. Let's read this witness statement and see what they got to say about her. Most crazy is fun until she sets your house on fire. Hey, speaking facts here. All right, witness statement given by Wendy Enders about Paula May. I've worked at the Del Fuego Rehab Center for the past 2 years on the wait staff. I've always enjoyed meeting all the famous celebrities, and most of them have been really nice. Just before the dinner shift, I saw Paula standing over by a window with a glass in her hand, staring out toward the water. I was thrilled, as I've always been one of her biggest fans. She's not the same Paula May now, but I think she still looks good. I've never understood why some people think you have to be as thin as a rail to be attractive. Hey, there's the weight thing you were talking about. She's saying here that she's gaining a little bit. Anyway, I grabbed my camera out of my purse and called out to her so I could get a picture. She freaked out sideways and threw her glass at me. Uh, it just missed my head as it smashed into the wall. Then she stormed over and yelled in my face, "Give me that film or I'll cram that camera down your skinny little throat." I was shaking, but I managed to get the film out. She grabbed it and stormed out of the room. It was awful. When Ari heard what happened, he came up and apologized to me because he hadn't briefed me on Paula's issue with cameras. That calmed me down a bit, and I asked how sure he could be that there weren't any paparazzi lurking somewhere on the island, but he assured me that he and Scout would make sure the island was completely secure and devoid of such unsavory life forms. Ari always makes me laugh with the weird way he talks, but he and Scout really do a great job of keeping us safe on the island. When I got back to work, I was still a bit shaky and unfortunately ended up dumping a whole big serving tray of potato salad into Jack Danner's lap. He was nice about it though and told me I could make it up to him by oh. Oh, is this the one that helped him get that jack? Yeah. He was nice about it though and told me I could make it up to him by going for a stroll around the island with him after dinner. I told him we weren't allowed to fraternize with the guests. Then he winked at me and told me I didn't know what I was missing, which was kind of creepy, but those warm brown eyes didn't bother me too much. Anyway, one thing I can say about my job here is that it's never boring. Interesting. Yeah, he's I think they mentioned that a while ago that he's a womanizer. All right, we've got our interview right here with Paula May. Please state your full name for the record. Paula June Marie May. Can you please state your reason for being at rehab? I've gained 40 pounds in the past 4 months and can no longer even fit my big toe into my skinny jeans. Does that answer your question? So you're addicted to eating. Bingo! Got any cheese doodles? Look, I've been there too. I know it's tough. After my son was born, my first husband left me and I turned to food. Heck, I practically married it. But for what it's worth, I think you look great. Seriously, anyone who doesn't is warped in the head. Thanks, I guess. You were a very sought after model. Was the food addiction why you stopped? No. I didn't start eating everything in sight until the job stopped coming. She's very angry with herself, it sounds like. Just the way she talks about herself. Hmm. Yeah, she's very straightforward about it too. Isn't it? Wait, you can be addicted to food? Yes, you can be addicted to food. Specifically like sugar, like soda stuff and all that. Dude, soda addiction is a real thing. That shit sucks. All right. She says, "I am white women." Excuse me. 2 seconds. All right. All right. Um, I didn't start eating everything in sight until the job stopped coming. They told me I was getting old, as if turning 30 meant I should wear housecoats, watch Jeopardy, and become the crazy cat lady. Ha ha ha, you're funny. Once the looks go, you gotta come up with a new gig. I'm thinking stand up. Sometimes people use humor to conceal their true emotions. I'm sure losing your career like that made you pretty bitter, angry. It crushed me, which was easy back then since I was all skin and bones. It keeps coming back to weight. Jesus. Are you married? I was. But once I started putting on weight, he left me for someone the size of a walking stick. I hear you also withdrew from the public eye. The paparazzi made it their goal in life to photograph the super fat former supermodel, so I basically became a prisoner in my own house. That must have been awful. Yep, but I'm determined to stop doing this to myself and lose the weight, so I can prove to the world I'm not too old to model. I also want my ex-husband to see my svelte again, because I know he'd come running back and dump the stick figure. But I don't want him back. I just want to see. I just got a really interesting theory. What if, what if Christopher King snuck a woman onto the island and she likes Christopher King? So she killed that woman. How does that sound? I think just from reading this last line, she sounds extremely jealous and possessive. Because okay, well I'll just keep reading because that kind of disproved what I was going to say. Makes sense that she's weird. She's sitting here listening to you solve a murder. So I can prove to the world I'm not too old to model. I also want my ex-husband to see my svelte again because I know he'd come running back and dump the stick figure, but I don't want him back. I just want to see him grovel and then tell him to drop dead. I hear there was an altercation with someone delivering food to your house. It's all over the press. I hired people to bring me groceries, do fast food runs for me, raid the bakery before closing time, that kind of thing. So I didn't have to so I didn't have to go out and be seen. I had discreet, dependable people until the paparazzi infiltrated them. Suddenly, there was a camera toting witch in my house. I'm helping, thank you. What happened? I smacked her across the face with her camera. Look, she came in. Hmm, she sounds. She sounds really impulsive. What if? What if she hit the girl and she didn't realize she was hitting her hard enough to crush her chest? Hmm. Yes. So she's strong. We know that she's strong. This is interesting. I, I'm gonna keep that in the back of my head. I smacked her across the face with her camera. Look, she came to my house under false pretenses and tried to strip me of my privacy. She deserved what she got. You broke her nose. You don't seem very remorseful about that. She had it coming. It was an ugly, bulbous nose anyway. It's not like it was going to ruin her modeling career or anything. And there was another camera incident yesterday afternoon. That waitress had no right to take my picture. I told her to give me the film. You threw a glass at her and threatened to cram a camera down her throat. I have a right to my privacy. I hear the paparazzi got word you were coming out here. Why can't they just leave me alone? They're like cockroaches. What would you do if one of them made it out here with a camera? Whatever needed to be done. Really? Like, drag them under a cabin, cover them in gasoline, light them on fire? They'd have it coming, right? Uh, they're just cockroaches. What? No! Look, I talk a big story, and yes, I whacked that reporter in the face with her camera, but I'd never murder someone. I tried to save someone last night. How so? When we saw the counselor's cabin up in flames, we thought he was still inside. Rob tried to break the door in, but he wasn't strong enough. I looked at Jack, and he was like, "Don't look at me." And Ava said, "Don't look at me either." So much for Ava, the superhero. So I did what needed to be done. Ava tried to stop me and said I was nuts. Well, maybe I am nuts because I got a running start and I busted right through. Maybe I found my calling and I should rethink this whole diet thing. Anyway, he wasn't in there, and I barely got out moments before the roof collapsed. Wow, that was either an unbelievably selfless act or a great attempt at deflecting guilt. Paula, where were you last night between 10:30 p.m. and 1 a.m.? I can't believe you! I went back to my cabin after the bonfire and fell asleep. Slept like a baby till I heard people screaming fire. Hmm. I understand you're an insomniac. Did you take any sleeping pills last night? No, I was just exhausted from being out of the house all day. I see. Well, that'll be all for now. We'll talk again soon. I don't know. Paula's looking pretty sus, in my opinion. Oh, I completely forgot. I've got photographs here that I haven't opened yet. So we'll get to that when we finish the last suspect. All right, a medical referral letter to Christopher King from Dr. Morris Randall regarding Paula May. It's dated April 10th, 2001, and it's from the Randall and Associates Psychology Group in Los Angeles. It is my medical opinion that Paula May is suffering from a food addiction. She has recently gained over 40 pounds in a matter of months. I believe her addiction is not caused by a lack of willpower, but as a result of a dopamine signal affecting the biochemistry of her brain. I believe her addiction to food is a possible transference or substitute for her addiction to attention, which she got from being an in demand model. I also believe she is suffering from body dysmorphic disorder, where she perceives herself as being much larger than she is. While it is true she's gained a considerable amount, she views herself as morbidly obese, which is not the case. I believe this is the direct result of the unrealistic pressure women are under in today's culture, especially in the fashion industry, to emaciate themselves down to a very unhealthy weight in order to be as thin as possible. Paula is also suffering from borderline agoraphobia, where she goes weeks, sometimes without leaving her house out of fear that she will be seen, photographed, or made fun of. She also has been prone to fits of rage since the weight gain and can become quite volatile. Okay, so that temper is something to keep an eye on. In addition to the aforementioned conditions, Paula has been experiencing ongoing insomnia for the past few months, most likely brought on by her heightened anxiety over her other issues. Her condition, therefore, is complex: food addiction, body dysmorphia, borderline agoraphobia, anger issues, insomnia. It is my opinion that she will need intensive therapy in all these areas, and I believe your unique methods may work wonders on her. Sincerely, Dr. Morris Randall, PhD. Okay. Yeah. Definitely gonna have to keep an eye on her. Yeah, she almost beat the shit out of that one. Yeah, yeah, no. So my money at the moment is on Paula May. Well, Paula May and Christopher King. I think they're connected. All right. Last suspect is one Rob Knox. Rob Knox, everybody. Person of interest. Rob Francis Knox. Date of birth July 19th, 1956. Divorced. Age 44 years. 5'10", 172 pounds. Lives in Los Angeles, California. Shoe size is 9. Hair color brown. Eye color brown. Place of birth New London. What is CT? Is that Connecticut? New London. New London, Connecticut. Uh, he has prior military experience. He has martial arts and combat experience. He owns firearms. He has a prior arrest for petty theft. Okay. He works for. Yes. He's got experience. Experience able to kill people by crushing their sternums. Very, very aptly put. Can we just get one ugly person? Why are they all hot? That's what I'm saying, honestly. That is true. All right, Rob. What? There you go. All right, Rob Knox works for Safety Net Inc. Has been working there for 6 years. He's the CEO, the president, and the founder. Okay. He uh he owns two cars, one Hummer and one Mustang. Who else owns a Hummer? Uh, I think it's Paula that owns the Hummer. Yeah, she owns a 2001 Hummer H2. He owns a 1999 Hummer H1, as well as a 1965 Mustang. Jesus Christ, dude is living the dream. Classic car. Oh man, you okay? Sorry, 69. That's funny. All right. Just laughing at myself. Alibi. I, I was in my cabin, but I couldn't sleep. The impending bankruptcy. That is so weirdly written. The impending bankruptcy keeps me up, but I started thinking about what a good Boy Scout was, and it led to an epiphany around what? I can't tell if I'm stupid or this doesn't make any sense. I was in sorry. I was in my cabin but couldn't sleep. The impending bankruptcy keeps me up, but I started thinking about what a good Boy Scout was, and it led to an epiphany around 11 for a revolutionary new invention that will make all my financial problems disappear. I was wrapping up my notes when I heard a woman scream fire and ran out to see Mr. King's cabin on fire. We figured he was in there, and while I was determining the best way to save him, Paula exploded through the front door, but he wasn't there. Moments later, he shows up out of breath, saying he was at the main house, but he came from the opposite direction, so I asked him about that. And the next thing I know, we're having an emergency therapy session that lasted all night. It was mostly just him insulting us. I wasn't surprised when I found out there was more to the story. You should find out where King was. Too bad there's no hidden security cameras around here. Uh, okay, but it's these first few sentences that have my attention. These first few sentences are really weird. Uh, yeah, it's it's not his dog. Yeah, but if he's that close to the dog, wouldn't the head of security have had something to say about this guy? He said that the dog was really close to Maria. But if this guy is so close to the dog that he's sitting here thinking about him while he's going to bed, I don't know. It's the first few sentences don't even apply. Mm, I don't know. I just know that if somebody was asking me about something, I wouldn't be talking about somebody else's dog, you know? I wonder if we're gonna have a picture in the envelope. That'd be awesome. Maybe he's close in a peanut butter kind of way. Oh no, I did not need to read that. All right. Witness statement regarding Rob Knox. Statement was given by one Audrey Collins of Thousand Oaks, California. I recently became a reporter for Hollywood Hearsay. We're a small gossip paper based in LA. Wow, this writing is hard to read. The first assignment I'd been given was to track down Rob Knox and see if the rumors were true that he was going into rehab for a gambling addiction. Who the fuck is Rob Knox that a gossip thing is looking into him? He's the CEO of a security company. I don't. This is weird. That is true. It is a small gossip. Uh, let's see if the rumors are true that he's going into rehab for a gambling addiction. My editor thought it presented a unique story, considering the man runs a high-profile security company but can't keep his own fortune safe from himself. Okay, so I found him at the Apollonia Marina waiting to board a boat called the Captain Hooked to the Del Fuego Rehab Center. Being that it was my first assignment, I was super excited as well as more than a little nervous. Maybe I should have worked up to my question, but I came out fighting right out of the box. I said, "My name is Audrey Collins with Hollywood Hearsay. Is it true that you're going to rehab for an addiction to gambling?" She just went for it. I never expected him to act the way he did. He grabbed me hard by the wrist and glared at me with the most intense look of hatred I've ever seen. Then he said, "You don't know who you're messing with, lady. Bury this or I'll bury you." He glared a few seconds longer. It felt like forever, then let go of my wrist. Dude, if you're talking to a gossip journalist, the last thing you want to do is like physically threaten them. But I feel it. Seeing all those videos of Toby Maguire. I freaked. I ran off to my car and drove back to the paper. My editor wasn't exactly impressed that I took off, but she understood. She wanted to run what we had there, but decided to wait until I could get more. I guess with him now also being a murder suspect, we have that more she was talking about. I'll never forget the look of cold, pure hatred in his eyes. All I did was ask him a question. I shudder to think what he'd do to someone who really crossed him. Okay, so that's pretty implicating then. All right. Yeah, it's a pretty personal question. This is really weird. You can't see it yet, but I'll show you in a second. This is really weird. All right, we've got the interview transcript for Rob Knox. Good afternoon, sir. Can you please state your full name for the record? Rob Francis Knox. And what do you do for a living? I'm the president and CEO of SafetyNet. We're revolutionizing the security industry by linking security cameras into the World Wide Web. Security cameras on the World Wide Web, huh? That's right. Top of the line cameras with fire and carbon monoxide detectors, and we link them to the internet so customers can see what's happening in their homes or businesses just by logging onto our website. Interesting. Why are you in rehab? I'm working on a slight problem I have with gambling. Slight problem, huh? How's it affected your life? I hit rock bottom 6 years ago, but I was determined to turn things around, so I worked obsessively to do so. Now the business I built is on the one of the fastest growing companies in the nation. Yet my gambling also is nearly bankrupt. Also has us nearly in bankruptcy. I'm very sorry to hear that. You and me both. I'm doing everything to keep it a secret because I've worked so hard to rebuild my reputation. If the public finds out, my good name will be ruined. Your name, Rob Knox, you changed it about 6 years ago. Is that correct? Yes, I did. And all of this obsession with rebuilding your reputation and keeping your good name wouldn't have anything to do with what happened back in Georgia, would it? Uh, it has everything to do with it. I spoke with Detective Gaynor back there about you this morning. I hear you were the head of campus security at Tubman University for years, and then you went through a messy divorce. That right? Messy? That's an understatement. My wife left me for some low-life lawyer. They took me for everything I had. Wow, that stinks. I was broke, desperate, and started playing poker with people I shouldn't have. Thought I could make some quick money, but it backfired. Is that when you quit your job and moved into an old storage shack on campus? Yes. I thought it'd give me time to make a plan as long as nobody found me there. But someone did find you, didn't they? Yes, they did. Max Cahill. And shortly after, Max turned up dead. You were a prime suspect. Unfortunately, yes, but that was a crazy mix up. He was a great guy who was trying to help me. I had nothing but respect for Max. Understood. I understand there wasn't enough evidence to convict, so they closed the case. Yes, that's true. I'm detecting a pattern. 6 years ago, you get mixed up with gambling and someone dies, and now history seems to be repeating itself. Look, I screwed up with my life gambling not once, but twice. It was incredibly stupid, but I've never killed anyone. You really hate the press, don't you? What? Where's that coming from? I heard a reporter question you at the marina. You threatened her. I didn't threaten her. I heard you grabbed her by the wrist. Really scared her. A lot of people saw. Okay, I was furious the press had gotten wind of this. They have the power to ruin me, and I wasn't going down that road again. You know what I think? I think a reporter followed you out to the island. You've worked so hard to leave your past buried, and they dug it up and shoved it in your face. And to make sure your past stayed underground, you put her under the cabin and set it on fire. Absolutely not. I didn't kill anyone. I'm 100% innocent. Again, where were you last night after the bonfire between 10:30 and 1? You mean before I heard Ava shout fire and ran out to see the counselor's cabin in flames? And then watched Paula May bust through a reinforced cabin door like it was a B movie prop? I was in my cabin inventing something revolutionary that's going to save my business. Got this idea from Scout. I'll give you my notes to prove it if you want. Make a copy or something, though, because I need them back. Yes, I would like to see those notes. Gladly. You should really talk to that counselor, King. He said he was here in the main house the whole time, but he ran up to us from another direction. I asked him about it, and the next thing I know, we're in an all night therapy session. Something about breaking us down to build us up later, but 7 hours is a bit long of a breakdown. Anyways, I'm 100% sure he's lying about something. Thanks, Rob. You can leave the investigation to us, okay? We'll be in touch. All right. Now for the pièce de résistance that makes this guy very fucking weird, in my opinion. So, you know that idea he was having that's going to revolutionize his company? And you know his obsession with Scout? You probably can't read it because the writing's backwards, but fake dog security camera. Oh, really? Oh, that's so cool. In-ear microphones, hidden camera for eyes, fake fur you can really pet, speaker plays barking noises, paws provide a stable base, power cord tail. What the fuck, dude? Rear view, possible features and benefits, secret compartment to hide a key, hypoallergenic. He crossed that out because obviously that's a little weird. Idle panting noises, infrared night vision, fits in small places like bathrooms, threat detection. Threat detection. Adjustable neck for, what does that say? For towels? Towels? Bite. None of this makes sense. Potential names: Doggy Detective, Canine Cam, Pooch Patrol, Robopup, the Doginator. There is something up with this dude. He's fucking weird. Bart. Oh my god. He made a little acronym. Bark. Be alert for. Be alert and ready for killers. This dude is cuckoo. What the fuck is this? It's all these tabs. They're all business stuff until you get to the very end. This is NFL, NBA, NHL. This guy this guy doesn't sound stable. There's something weird with this guy. I don't know if he's a killer, but Pooch Patrol. Jesus. All right, well that's all of our suspects. I'm still sticking with Paula May and Christopher King. Something there. But it's time to open up our evidence photographs. I am very excited. Uh, do I have a knife or something that I can use to? Well, I don't want to. I don't want to fuck up the envelope. Is the problem? Because it's like it's very sealed. No, these are just these are crime scene photographs. Dude, this shit is sealed. All right, there we go. Ooh, a lot of photographs. It feels like. I know, it's really cool. What is this? Oh, it's a little magnifying thing. That's fucking cool. Okay, so first photograph is of the body. What? Okay, so right off the bat, I can already see the tooth gap. That does not look like a tooth gap. That looks like a tooth was literally removed. Look at this. Look, if you can see that clearly, it looks like a tooth was literally taken out. Here, let me see if I can put the magnifying thing up. Yeah, that doesn't look like just a gap. Were there any missing people that didn't have the tooth gap? Oh shit. Yeah, it doesn't look like one. Damn, her body burned pretty good. Okay, next photo is the lighter and the gas canister that were found with the body. This is really cool. Okay, and now we've got the aftermath of the fire. That's the cabin. It's pretty fucked up, if you can see. We've got a photo of the head of security, Ari Urlich, and of course he's sexy. Of course he's sexy as fuck. That's what I was wondering. We got the director of the rehab facility, Kendra Matthews. I don't know who the fuck this is. They have not mentioned this guy. Unless he. I think he was the one that gave the statement for Ava. None of them were addicted to smoking. You remember that? Yep, yep. We've got Audrey Collins, the reporter that was threatened by Rob Knox. Then we've got Wendy Enders, the waitress that was nearly assaulted by Paula May. Scout! Scout is in this picture. And then we've got the group photo. And there's Scout right at the top. Let me get the magnifying thing for you. He's adorable. Okay, so we've got Jack Danner. We've got, I'm assuming that's Rob Knox. We've got head of security. I'm assuming that's Paula May. Krista, uh, who would that be? Would that be Christopher King? Would he be doing group photo? Well, anyway, that's Paula. I'm assuming right there, diva. Okay, so now we have to find out how Jane Doe got to the island. which I don't feel any closer to figuring that out, if I'm being totally honest. Oh no, Paula, she's not well, I mean she's gaining weight, but the whole point is that she's not fat. She just thinks that she is. Hmm. Okay, so we've got everything on the inventory list. So basically now we just have to start brainstorming. The first thing, what? Oh, he's talking about how she got to the island. That's the first thing we have to figure out is how she got to the island. I'm looking for the boat blueprints right now. Got them. Well, the first thing we have to figure out right now before we can move forward is how she got to the island. Oh, you think she was there already? And if it was somebody that's always there, Scout wouldn't necessarily. Yeah. So is that our final answer? You think that she was always on the island? It it makes sense that she wasn't snuck on the island, that she was always there. And well, the thing too is that the dog always the guy said that he always like was after Maria, you know. So who was the girl that was seen with Chris with the boat? Nobody was. Uh, it isn't confirmed that it was Chris with the boat. One of our missing persons that is our potential Jane Doe. She was last seen talking to somebody with dark hair and getting onto his boat. I I made the assumption that it might have been Chris. Okay, do you want to go to the website? It says unsolvedcasefiles.com/Jane-1. Jane-1. uh, the Chris used to sneak girls onto the island as well. Mr. Murder. What are the options? Uh huh. Jesus. Oh shit! Mr. Murder wants me to read the options. Can you start over? All right. So the options we have are that she swam from the coast to the island. She hid inside the boat that took the patients to the island. She was smuggled inside somebody's luggage. She was already on the island when they got there. She took a separate boat. She jumped from a plane with a parachute. She was disguised as somebody else. She took a one-person submarine. We already have our option though, which is she was already there, right? Hmm. Yeah, the plane and the submarine is pretty crazy. Hmm. Yeah, we're gonna go with she was already on the island when everybody got there. What? We were wrong? What the fuck? Okay, wait, what are the options again? She swam? She swam. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. I feel like the next best option is that she took another boat. If that if that's not it, then we're wait, what? What the fuck, bro? This is so complicated. Wait, so that was it? Okay, so she took a separate boat, Mr. Murder. But what are the choices for the evidence? Oh my god, dude. They really don't want us bullshitting our way through this. That's missing persons, Jasmine Barstow. Uh, Let me double check on that for you. Oh no, you're fine. I'm surprised that because that I'm just surprised that we didn't get it. I really thought it was gonna be Maria. I know. Uh, it's the witness statement for Christopher King. Kendra Matthews. Kendra Matthews was talking about it. Yes. Is it gonna tell us which one of those is wrong? So what are we talking about right now? Uh well, basically, yeah. So we're right about the fact that she got to the island by taking a boat other than the one that was for the patients. But we need to prove it now. And the proof is somewhere in all of this. And we have to pick two two things that prove that. All right, let's let's try it, and then we'll take a hint after. The witness statement for Christopher King, and then the missing person report, right? Oh, what? No. Oh shit. Is it like 3 hints per objective? Okay, that's not as bad as I thought. All right, all right, all right. Okay. I think the witness statement for Christopher King is still good. Um, but yeah, does it ask you that? Dude, this shit is very fucking intuitive. Every single thing. It's very hard. I'm trying to skim over everything. So we're trying to prove that she got to the island through another boat. I don't remember reading anything talking about how he owned a. Wait. Because it talks about owned vehicles. No, see, it just says a car. Let me look through the owned vehicles for everybody else. Rob Knox has a Hummer and a Ford. Paula has 3 cars. And Jack Daniels got a Jaguar. Ava has a Maserati and a SUV. Okay, never mind. That didn't pan out. And then we've got the boat specs for the patient boat. I'm so lost. Oh man. Should we just do a hint? You think? One, two, three, four, five, six. The burn building. Got it. Yeah, yeah. It's like right at the base. I'm not seeing anything in this one. But was the group photo taken before or after they got to the rehab center? This could be it then, because there's other boats here. Let me. Uh, what would be? Where did they talk about the group photo? Damn, I really feel for real life detectives right now. Who talked about the group photo? I know somebody talked about a group photo. I just because if they took the group photo after they got to the rehab center, there's other boats in this picture. If you understand, yeah. So then this proves that there's other boats that have access to the island. What's the list on the proof? Yeah, so that's why I think it was before. What's the list on the proof that they took another boat? It's just literally everything we have. We have to provide the proof. I am very lost. Maybe, wait, let me go back to Wendy's. Maybe that'll. Yeah. Uh, who? I found him at the Apollonia Marina waiting to board a boat. Shit. So much for that. This sucks. Oh man. This is fun though. So we were right about them taking another boat. Mm, fuck. Do you wanna get a hint and see what it says? What? What the fuck, man? Oh. Okay, it wants us to look for water. So let's. This picture's got water. This picture's got water. The hint was boats need water. Look for water. We've got two pictures that have water in them, but this picture takes place at the marina before they get to the island. That's what I'm saying. There's like nothing there. Unless somebody took a boat straight to the cabin, but then wouldn't they hear the boat is the thing. Shit. This is hard. But if they took another boat, then the blueprints are pointless. Boats need water. That's a shit hint. Yes, it is. Do you want to do another hint to see if this one's better? Oh my god, dude. Oh. What? No, you cannot. Unless it's literally the two pictures that I picked. Try it. Try it. The two pictures that I picked. Yeah. What? You're fucking kidding me. What? Of the group photo? CF8069. It looks like. That's it? What? Oh, it's upside down. That doesn't make any sense, though. Did the boat wreck? That is dumb. What was the second hint? It said that a part of the boat that the girl took is in multiple photos. Well, because I feel like this is a bullshit. thing to look for, though, because there are no pieces of a boat there. It's literally just the license plate in the water. Yeah, that's a weird one. Anyway, what's next? Oh, yeah. Yeah. Bonus envelope A, do not open until after completing objective 1, which we did. So let's get it. So there was a ship. The shipwrecked? That's interesting. Please get out of the envelope. Objective 2, who is Jane Doe? When you figure out which of the 5 missing girls is Jane Doe, visit this page to see if you got it right. Alright. Okay, so basically what it's saying now is that part of the boat was found at the wreckage of the cabin. The boat that Jane Doe took to get to the island. Underwater crime scene report. We received a tip from an independent investigator, that's us, concerning the murder of an unidentified Jane Doe found in 2001 on the island of Del Fuego and believed it warranted further investigation. The investigator found washed up remnants of a sunken ship on the shore of Del Fuego Island, matching a sailboat known to be docked at the Apollonia Marina 12 miles north, less than 24 hours earlier. The evidence convinced us that Jane Doe had taken that sailboat from the Apollonia Marina to Del Fuego Island, and the boat capsized offshore. In response to the new information, we conducted a complete forensic dive to look for the wreck and any possible clues in the unsolved case. Our dive team, consisting of Lieutenant Gary LaGrange and Stu Hansen, was dispatched to the location, arriving at approximately 2:15 p.m. After spending about an hour exploring the area near Del Fuego Island, we discovered a sunken boat about 200 yards off the shore of the island. The boat appeared to match the description of the boat we were looking for. How the hell were we meant to figure the boat out because of a singular license plate? It's we just got to detect. That's what they want us to do. Detect the magnifying glass. Yep. We were unable We were unable to collect any valuable information or evidence from the actual boat, but Officer Hansen found a sealed plastic bag inside the boat's watertight storage compartment. The contents of the bag were brought back to headquarters for analysis and are detailed within this report. The bag included a map to the island with instructions written for Jane Doe how to get to the island on the night of the murder. Conclusions. The map with instructions for Jane Doe confirms the items we found belong to the Jane Doe who was murdered on Del Fuego Island back in April of 2001. Due to the age of the items and their location over the past few decades, we were unable to retrieve any worthwhile forensic evidence such as saliva, fingerprints, or other DNA sources. We are still unable to determine the identity of Jane Doe, but believe additional investigation is warranted and a team of skilled detectives may be able to ascertain the identity of Jane Doe and perhaps even her killer with the additional evidence we found. All right, I'm nervous now. My earbud is about to die. Let me see if it can keep your audio playing while I. Let me see. Hello, say something. Oh no, I can't hear. Should we? Should we pause and then pick it up tomorrow, you think? Hello? Do you have another earbud? No, I don't, unfortunately. Let me see if